Rabbi Lindo.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
morning,
morning,
Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
We are learning Mishna Yevamos, Parak Yudalid, chapter 14, Mishnah Gimel, Mishnah 3. Okay. Shnei Achim Chershim. We have two brothers. They're both deaf mutes. Nesuim l'shtei achayes chershais. Each one is married to a sister, and both of them, married to two sisters, and both those women are deaf mutes. So in this case, you've got from either side of the marriage, it's rabbinic in nature. It's a drabanan marriage. Or the two deaf mutes are married to two sisters who are regular. But again, being that the men are the deaf mutes, in that situation, the marriage is midrabanan. Or the two deaf mute brothers are married to two sisters. Achas chareshes v'achas bikachas. One of them is a deaf mute, one of them is regular. But again, in this combination, you have in one case you've got both of them being of rabbinic nature, and at the end of the day, even if the other woman is not a deaf mute, but the fact that the husband is means that the marriage by nature is a drabanan, is a rabbinic marriage. So this is the first set of cases. Or now we come from the other direction. You got two sisters who are both deaf mutes. They're married to two brothers who are not. Again, because the women are, therefore the marriage is rabbinic in nature. Or both are married to two brothers. I'm sorry, I missed the play. I got mixed here. Right, they're married to two brothers that are not deaf mutes. Or both brothers are deaf mutes they're married to. Or to two brothers. One is a deaf mute, one is not. So again, in all these combinations, the marriages are midrabanan, they're rabbinic in nature, because at least one of the people involved is a cherish. Okay, and now the case is one of the brothers die. So now you had a rabbinic marriage. So now you have a rabbinic yibum. At the same time, that comes out in this case. The widow of the brother who is deceased is going to be exempt, both from chalitza and both from yibum, because even if we look at this marriage as rabbinic and the yibum as rabbinic, following the regular rules of yibum, what we have here is a man who's married to a woman, and his wife's sister is falling to him to yibum. She's an erva. In this case, she's an erva midrabanan. According to rabbinic law, she's an erva. But everything here is rabbinic. The marriage is rabbinic. The yibum is rabbinic. And therefore, if it comes out that, again, according to this rabbinic marriage, this is his wife's sister, then there's nothing. There's no yibum or chalitza. Because we know that when an erva falls to you for yibum, that woman now doesn't need anything from the brother, from the surviving brother. She's completely exempt, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. The facts is that in any of the combinations, we're talking about two sisters, and therefore, if one husband died, and we're talking about two brothers and two sisters, if one of the brothers die, that means now his wife, who is the sister of the other brother's wife, is falling to yibum, and that completely exempts her from yibum or from chalitza. Now, let's say these two women that we're talking about were not sisters. So you've got the two brothers. The two brothers are deaf mutes, okay, or the two sisters are, whatever it may be. But the point is, I'm sorry, not two sisters, the two wives may be. But the point is, the two women are not sisters. Nachrius means they are unrelated. They're unrelated. So now, in this situation, again, being that you're talking about that one of the spouses is a deaf mute, we're talking about a rabbinic marriage. But in this case, where they are not sisters, right, there's nothing to exempt the woman who fell to yibum. Nothing to exempt her. She's married midrabanan, she's married according to rabbinic law. There's yibum according to rabbinic law. Then she's not a sister of the surviving brother's wife, and therefore she falls for yibum. And there's a zika. There's a bond. There's a yibum bond. Again, it's midrabanan, but there's a yibum bond. And now we have to deal with a situation of yibum. Now, in any other situation of yibum, there's a choice. You could do yibum, or you could do chalitza. But in this case, you have a problem. Because whether the man is a cherish or whether the woman is a cherish, they cannot be involved in a chalitza. They cannot do a chalitza. The reason is because that the Torah says is that both the wife who fell to Yibam and the surviving brother have statements they have to make. The Torah says they have to make certain statements. And even though we learned previously that even if you don't actually make the statements, it can still be a kosher chalitza, but they have to be able to. And in this case, where we're talking about a cherish or a chereshes, a deaf mute person, they cannot do that. And therefore, there is no possibility of chalitza. There's a possibility of yibum, but there's no possibility of chalitza. For yibum, you don't need the woman's consent. You don't need any kind of major consent here. All you need is the act of yibum, and therefore, yibum is possible. Okay, but what if he doesn't want to be married to her? He doesn't want to be married to her, and he's not interested. But what's he going to do? He can't just hold her back from getting without any kind of yibum or chalitza, right? She still has the yibum bond to him, and she can't go marry somebody else. So what's he going to do? Just hold her back? So what you do in that case is, says the Mishna, I'm sorry. So let me read it again. I think I didn't read it right. And if, let's say, the women were not sisters, then what happens is that they can get married. They'll do a yibum. And if he wants to then let her go, he'll give her a get. Meaning the only way for them not to remain married and to allow her to marry somebody else, in this case where chalitza can't be done, is to do a yibum. Just do the yibum. She will become married to him, and then he gives her a get. And being that the marriage is of a rabbinic nature, we learned previously, and this is the opinion that we follow, that the same way the marriage can happen rabbinically through remiza, through the fact that the person shows that that they both show they know what's going on. Right? They understand it to something. They have some kind of understanding of what's going on. He says he wants to get married. She says she wants to get married. And therefore, the rabbinic marriage takes place. You can give a get the same way. A get for the rabbinic marriage can be done the same way, beremiza. Although you cannot have that full consent, but there's a remiza. They can show that they have a certain level of consent to what's going on. And therefore, the get can be given. So at the end of the day, the point of the Mishnah is that when the two women are sisters, so then it's like any other case of Yibam, when two sisters are married to two brothers, one brother dies, the sister falls to Yibam to her sister's husband, there's no Yibam or Chalitza. In a situation here where, if let's say they were not sisters, so then, because we're talking about somebody here is a deaf mute, Chalitza cannot be done, and if they don't want to be married, they'll have to actually go through a Yibam act, become married, and then a get can be given. A divorce will be given. The divorce can be given because of the fact that the same way the marriage was done rabbinically, the divorce can be done rabbinically.
You couldn't do chalitza by just writing. It has to be.
She has to be. They have to be able. They have to be able to say something. You have to be able to say what the Torah wants them to say.
All right.
Okay. I have the Chofetz Chaim. Now, afilim huroya. We're going back to the discussion about rechilas, where basically you're in a situation of where, and this situation was where, Shimon comes over to Reuben and he says, "What did Levi say about me? Or what did Levi do that affected me?" And we said that even under pressure, you cannot respond. Even if, let's say, you see by not responding and revealing what Levi said about Shimon can cause you a loss. You are under the control, or you're dependent on other people. And when they ask him and they pressure him to let them know what they want to know, and he doesn't respond, they'll suspect him of being in cahoots with Levi. Who Shimon will think if Reuben's not responding about Levi, it's because he's in with Levi on what he did. But he may lose his job because of it. Nonetheless, the halacha is a person has to give up all his money, all his property, so as not to transgress a prohibition. And that includes rechilas. Rechilas is a Torah prohibition. For a law, for a Torah prohibition, you have to give up whatever you have. Unless by revealing what happened, there could be a constructive outcome to actually remove any kind of damage and to quiet any and to actually stop any kind of quarreling from happening. Sometimes by revealing it, things can work out. They can work out things in a way that things will come out peaceful. But don't be too quick to rely on this. Because in order to be able to actually say the Rechilas and reveal what Levi did to Shimon, there are many conditions that have to be met. They will be explained later on, and we actually not long ago went through them in the first part of the laws of Lashon Hara of the Chofetz Chaim. So therefore, yes, there is a concept that if there could be a constructive purpose from it, you would be able to reveal the Rechilas, what Levi did to Shimon, but don't be too quick on to rely on that, because a lot of conditions have to be met. Have a wonderful day. A good night.
Thank you, Rabbi.